Okay. Woo. Here we are. We got the 2J-Racing quarter intake. Let's see how she. All right. Let's see what we got. Alright, so we are here with the 2J-Racing quarter intake for the 2020 Corolla hatch, basically a 2-liter Corolla, and we're trying it out. So right now I have about 200 miles on the intake so far since I've installed it, and it's been different. So it's different for me having a CVT and having this quarter intake. The car's probably still adjusting to it, but when I first, installed it, and I did floor it, in regular automatic mode, it did like this jerking thing where it was like the transmission was going, so that was kind of scary and weird at first. But then once I put it into sport, it did it, but not as bad. But it was still accelerating, but it's still kind of doing the RPM hang. So we're gonna see if it does that. In regular auto mode. We'll do regular auto pull, then auto sport pull, and then we'll do the manual sport shifting pull, which works fine. When I'm in manual mode, this car pulls good, and if anything, it pulls stronger with the quarter intake. So keep that in mind when you get this, that you want to be in manual mode to really extract the full potential of your intake if you go the quarter intake route. And like I said, one thing I love about this intake is that it relocates the air filter, to the front of the car, and so it's away from the engine bay. So we'll do an acceleration here. This will be. Yeah, so that right there, that pulls just fine in manual mode. Slow it down to about, drop it down to about 20. Well, we'll do 30. So this is a 30. This would be a pull from just regular automatic mode. All right, so that was just regular auto mode. So this is sport auto. Kind of roll racing, rolling. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Sport. Here we go. So that was full manual mode. Like I said, when I use this car and I'm driving for just regular driving, I do what I need to do in the manual mode, and then I slap it right back over to drive once I'm in a good cruising spot. And that's pretty much how I use it. And like I said, the car pulls pretty good with this intake, and I'm pretty happy with it so far. I've heard now on the forums, I've heard people say your check engine light comes on around 500 to 1,000 miles. So we'll see. I'll definitely update in the pinned comments below or in the description if it does pop up. If it does pop up, we'll see if it makes the car run differently at all. But I definitely don't want to have a checked engine light. If it does throw to CL, I'll just let 2J-Racing know. Oh, by the way, I did reach out to 2J-Racing customer service just to let them know about my acceleration thing that I was dealing with, or the way it was doing the surge thing, and they said just to check back and let them know. But they were pretty good as far as like emailing back and everything. So Props to 2J-Racing customer service.
Here, I just want to go with a quick overview of when I did the install. So first is definitely you want to remove, the factory airbox. Once you remove it while it's off, you want to go ahead and remove the mass airflow sensor. And once you take that off, you want to take it off while it's off the OEM airbox because it's easier to transfer. And when you put it back in, it has to sit pretty flush with here, so there's no gap at all. So when you put it on, you're gonna have to really press it in all the way because it, so there's no gap at all. Once that is on, then you can go ahead and put your hose hump on and make sure you align it so you can easily access these guys right here. So you have I had like an 8-inch extension, so I was able to use a power ratchet and get in there and tighten. So I did tighten this one first all the way so it would hold on to the throttle body. This one I left it, I tightened it like medium, but it doesn't have to be all the way because you want to be able to maneuver this a little bit while it's here. So once we do that, this piece comes off. So this is where we want to mount the air filter. So basically once this pipe is on, that's tightened. This is, you don't have to tighten it at all. This piece, we're gonna go ahead and get that in, and this is where we're gonna install the air filter while it's mounted there, so you know exactly where it's gonna sit. So we did remove this. There's a piece here and a piece here. Those two had to come out. All 10mm bolts. And then what I had to do was there's 3 bolts underneath the bumper here. One here, one in the middle, and one on that side. And this top part of the bumper slides out just enough where you can actually squeeze in the filter and get that air filter on. So Mark suggested to use some kind of like glue gun or adhesive remover on the intake pipe where the filter will make contact, with the filter. So you don't want it to slip. You want it to be as clean as possible. So there's no room for slippage, pretty much. And it's probably helpful to have someone to hold, basically this pipe and the filter together while the other person tightens down the filter so that it's staying on there while they're tightening it. So huge shout out to Mark. Thank you for that, for helping me get that on. And then Mark also did this trim piece here as well. But anyway, so once this was tightened down, and it was secure, then we go ahead and went and tightened this guy here. This is the second hose hump clamp to the intake pipe. Once that's all tightened, we actually loop this sensor around the back to give it a cleaner look. Mark decided to do that because it was coming from this way. I did break the little bracket that it was hooked up to. Oh well, no big deal. But yeah, so yeah, not so bad. It's pretty much straightforward. And this one right here, we had the drill. I used a 3/8 drill bit, and that drilled a hole for this piece to go into the intake pipe to hold this harness together. All right, and that's pretty much the quick overview. Just some quick tips that I learned as far as if you're installing this Corolla intake. And just to recap, like I said, the car kind of adjusted itself after about 200 miles when I did the video. So it didn't have that weird lag thing that it was doing in the beginning. So don't be worried if you do have that. Just give it some time and it should sort itself out. And like I said, someone's stated there will be a check engine light possibly. So we'll see. I'll keep a lookout for that and keep you guys posted as well. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Week.